Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left off last time, we were just exploring Dresden. I'm going to talk to Graybor to get the Dragon Quest started, and then we're going to leave the city. I did decide to do all of the pranks, so we're going to see how that plays out with the Trickster Path. Before you stands a dwarf. He has stern, rugged features, and he looks to be well armed. He fills his pipe with tobacco from Garand, lights it, and blows out a cloud of smoke. How do we know it's from Garand? Finally, he addresses you in a deep, dignified voice. How can I help you? I want to hire you for a dragon hunt.
A large adult female? The one that's been snatching people and carrying them off? I've heard about her. That's an impressive target. I can take this job, but only if we do it soon. I'm expecting a new assignment from my regular client, and I'll have to leave as soon as I have the orders. And of course, you should know that this dragon will not come cheaply. 2,500 gold, paid in advance.
The dwarf's eyes light up, but his tone is one of studied indifference. I also desperately need a new microphone arm. It's coming on Wednesday, but this one keeps slowly dipping down over the course of the video. So if you hear me adjusting the microphone, it's just because this arm is giving up on life. Anyways, how about a small discount?
Let's think this through. Are there lots of assassins in this town who have the valuable experience of subduing dragons and are willing to work for you?
No.
Will I lose any profit by protracted haggling?
No.
Will you?
Yes.
Is there any chance that someone less competent than I am will be able to locate your target as efficiently as I would?
Maybe?
No, I don't think so. There is absolutely no reason for me to give you any discounts. 2,500 gold is an honest price for the head of a fire breather.
Fine, I'll pay. That's acceptable. Or that, I'll just pay that amount.
Let's get down to business. It's no easy thing to take down a dragon when you don't have wings, so you'll need to follow my lead. The best thing would be to catch her by surprise in her lair, but we need to find it first. Of course, since she doesn't leave tracks, that might be tricky, but I think I have a solution. We need to go west of Dresden to the Grimwood Forest. The dragon's been seen there often. According to the scouts, this is likely because there's still some wild game left in those parts. We'll set up an ambush there. I hope I can rely on your honesty. I understand that on our way to the dragon, there may be other fights or places we need to visit for various reasons. That's to be expected. However, should I see that you are deliberately delaying the contract, or that you're dragging me off to assault some demon citadel instead of going after the dragon, we will have to revise the terms of our agreement.
Alrighty, fair enough. We need to get our main character to do the identifying and not so much Nenio. Otherwise, I don't think the knowledge world thing kicks in, which is kind of a bit of a downer, honestly. Alright, so now we have Graybor, who's going to help us with our Dragon Quest. I'm not exactly sure. What a weird sound. This is, of course, the
There are many roads.
Derek Sunhammer area. But does he have any good loot? We can buy a jewelry for $25,000. But I don't think we need that. Diamonds are good, and once we have Raised Dead, we'll pick some up, but for now, I don't think it's useful at all. I also realized we need to get the, we need to get to the laboratory for a Relu as soon as, or not a Relu as soon as possible. And the reason for that is we need to get tier 4 from the Lexicon of Paradox Part 1 of our Mythic Path. We need mythic perception and an improved mythic perception. Or not, sorry, not mythic, but you know what I mean, the greater trick. Perception trick and greater perception trick. And that lets us break into the improved critical hits and stuff like that, so that is very, very important. I also can't talk this morning because it's very early and I'm still sort of waking up a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to do a quick glance at our stuff for the crusade, and then we're going to get out of here. I've talked to basically everyone. There's no one else we need to talk to. We did the one mission guy. Let's do this thing. Alright, so we have several decrees to do, including Dwarven property, giants. There's some rank ups to do. We could need to form all the councils. In fact, I think that might be the best thing to do first off. Form every council. We only need to rest for 1 day, which I think might be a good idea, honestly. Our army is here. Do we have any soldiers kicking around? We have lots of soldiers kicking around. And some mounted scouts, which are less useful. Anyways, let's see what we have for soldiers in general. We do have more... So, the thing about the cavalry that we have, these mounted scouts, is that they will turn into better cavalry once we get the army tier upgrades going. So we should hide them somewhere relatively safe. I'm just going to put them back here. I think they'll be somewhat safe there. And we're going to take these ones out of this army, because we don't have any room for them at the moment anyways. Oh man, we have paladins and champions that we can't really use. Well, let's go put them with the mounted people. They can all sit here in a nice little area together. We'll park those ones halfway. You guys are coming to here. Because they'll become cavalry later, which can be really good. Like, if we make them paladins, obviously there's going to be less of them, but they'll be pretty strong still. You guys can just maybe come up here with the rest of the squads. If they turn into new and fun things, then they'll be good to go. If they don't, they'll just stay there. Or die. We'll send them to die or something. I don't know. There we go, now we have hundreds of things. We also have a few extra points. And I think we should grab the clerics and the Hell Knights as well. Alright. And there we go, that's a pretty sizable army. Let's go take on some demons. How do I get to the demons? Good question. Apparently not this way. There we go. Well, we barely made it to this fight. But we did make it, so that's the important thing. Let's go get some crag wyverns. That's gonna hurt. Yep. Actually, not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna hurt. Or sorry, rift drakes, not crag drakes. My guys are all very slow. Oh, we didn't die. We definitely didn't lose anything. We were way below our infirmary cap. And so we're golden. 60 whole energy points. Whew. My cup runneth over. Alright, let's move back to the... I guess we can just skip 1 day. Let all of the campaign stuff come through. Now we can do all the councils. Okay, now we can do other decrees. Orders to Irbeth. That's a military decree. Fate of Soulshear. That is a diplomacy decree. Studying the Sword of Valor. Logistics decree. And we have no leadership decrees at the moment. thought we did. Oh, we have events, sorry. Dwarven property. Part of the fortress wall sustained damage in a demon attack on Dresden. A number of buried golems covered in dwarven ruins were discovered among the collapsed stones. Upon hearing this news, a member of a dwarven clan has contacted the commander and claimed that the golems belong to them. What should be done with them? We can give them to the dwarves, which gives us material. We can keep them in the wall, which gives us military experience. We can extract the golems and use them in battle. Or we can just keep them. I don't think we're going to keep them inside the wall. The golems were buried in the wall to reinforce it magically. Once mages renew their half-faded ruins, they continued to preserve Dresden's peace. And we have giants as well. A progressive alchemist by the name of Zagelforntz ran a series of experiments in an attempt to improve the potion of legendary proportions, but something went wrong. The soldiers who tasted his creation cannot return to their natural form and have grown quite dim. However, the alchemist assures everyone that no harm has been done, since giants are more useful than ordinary soldiers, and the usefulness of intelligence in a soldier is highly debatable in the first place. We can make them do manual labor, which gives us material points +1 per day. We can cure them, which gives us morale. We can use them in battle, which gives us the giants in battle, and they're pretty okay. Or we can form a separate settlement for them, which gives us material income and adds 1500 logistics experience points. Let's give them their own settlement. Living alongside former comrades would be difficult for the giants. They need a place where they can live by themselves and slowly learn to coexist with the rest of the world. Lan will help them find a place for settlement so they can start a new life there. The crusade will only benefit from this arrangement. The giants can supply Dresden with the resources. The alchemist Zagelforntz strongly endorses this decision. There we go. We're done all the things. Now we have days of stuff to do, so we're going to leave. But I think the moment we come in here, we're going to have to deal with the councils. And there's going to be 4 of them, so hang tight for that. Unfortunately, we're not going to be the Swarm, so we actually have to deal with the Crusade. Although I guess the Swarm only had to not deal with the Crusade after Act 5 anyways. But we'll see. Silkind. Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tinged with grey. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Silkind. I command the vanguard of a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We've come from Endorphin to assist you. Tell me more about your unit. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Endorphin mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world, no. We're adventurers, eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and to leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorans are a free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. Why did you join up? Queen Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think that we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Endorphin, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We would be glad to stand in the way of demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. I want to know more about you, Captain Silkind. The man flashes a genuine smile. I don't even know what to say. I'm a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-around honest man. Get on with your duties. Yes, sir. Glad to be under your command. Captain Silkind salutes you again, smiles, and adds in a softer voice, It will be an honor to serve you, Commander. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you need to talk, I'll be happy to lend an ear. Thank you, Silkind. Irabeth said that we're under threat from demons with unusual abilities, like that Nabasu that attacked your army at the Lost Chapel. They're very powerful and they're growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from, have you? Arushale looks around shyly and continues, lowering her voice as if entrusting you with a personal secret. I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. Where? The place is called the Green Gates. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago before the World Wound, there was a Sarkorian fortress there. Then the Crusaders built a small chapel, but for many, many years the place has been home to nothing but abomination and squalor. How did you find out about this? Arushale quickly looks at the faces of those present and seems to curl in on herself. Quietly, almost whispering, she says, That's a long story. I'll tell you when we get there, alright? Who are you talking about? A hag by the name of Joranica. She used to live there before the fall of Sarkoris, but when the demons invaded the world, she happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets, you just have to make her talk. Does this Juranica also have special powers? Her, I doubt it, but still be careful. She is a very old, very sly creature, and she's incredibly dangerous. Thanks. Happy to help, it's just... Arusale looks around cautiously again and lowers her voice. You won't go there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you. Okay. Grandma Gretlin lowers herself into a bow. Good day, your commandership. It is we, the artistic board of the next door theater. We are still working on our piece about your heroism. We've even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a master of stage equipment and scenery. It's my daughter Tina. Tina, say hi to his commandership. We're faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on a climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Dresden. Here, you listen to the options. Grandma Gretlin holds up a scroll before her eyes and begins to read, running a gnarled finger along each line. Option 1. The commander, so that's you, launches himself out of a catapult and smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. The commander, that's you again, masquerades as a succubus and creeps into Dresden in disguise, then opens the gate to the Crusaders. The commander, so that's you again, rides to the attack on an enormous mountain goat, or should we call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. Well, what do you say? The cross-dressing as a succubus version is the best one, surely? Yes, it sort of makes it a performance within a performance. Theater in theater, a double entendre in a double entendre. Oh, I think I misspoke. Thank you for your inspiration, your commandership. Grandma Gretlin and her entourage move away, but their voices project so well you can easily hear the rest of the conversation. What do you think? Maybe we can somehow add the catapult to the succubus plot? Maybe the commander can use the catapult to fly out of Dresden once he's completed the mission. Did you forget the role of the commander is being played by a Cyclops? How are we to launch Lambkin out of a catapult? Where are we going to find a catapult that won't just break under his weight? Calm yourself, Tina. It's just a minor snag. You can't achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. We'll think of something. You'll see. Man, so many people. Sakobanath. Eltimar, I'm so pleased to see you alive and mostly unharmed. You've never seen this mortal before, but his voice, there can be no doubt that this voice belongs to Sakobanath. As you can see, I wanted to get to know my new friend better, so I paid a visit to your abode. Your guest lowers his voice and gives you a playful wink. This is my favorite shape to wear when walking among mortals. It's cute, isn't it? The Demon Lord speaks to you, adding coquettish undertones to his voice. I'll have to admit, your place is rather charming, although the lack of a pleasure palace does sour the mood a little bit. And your servants, they're such a gentle and helpful people. They stood at attention and reported to me with unbelievable ardor. Upon further reflection, that might have been because I took on your appearance, but let's not fret over minor details. While I was out walking, I heard several complaints addressed to me, and in this case, by me I mean you. A complaint is basically an invocation, so let's just agree that they were official prayers to me, and I really must intervene on the behalf of my new worshippers. The essence of these appeals is as follows. Your officers have grown sick of fighting. To be more precise, they're sick of fighting and not doing anything else. I can certainly understand their frustrations. Even soldiers have the right to a personal life, after all. I suggest that you allow them to pair their duties with something more exciting, or at least profitable. Let them improve their skills by staging mock battles in a game played atop tables. I'll keep inventing new rules. We can commit them to paper, and even find people to publish them in books. We are inventing D&D. A splendid idea. It's amazing that nobody thought of this before. I'm sure this exciting activity is going to spread all over Golarion, and even the esteemed members of the Pathfinder Society. Decemvirate will amuse themselves by playing it. You were so much fun to be around. I'm going to be back once I think of something else for your soldiers to do. The tall, gaunt half-elf salutes you solemnly. Commander, it's an honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I'm Captain Odin, and I've been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Grey Garrison. I will do my best to be of as much use to you as possible in this role. The foundation of the military is cold calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart on the Crusaders. If we are to win this war, we must forget about mercy, for our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves. Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half her life tussling with evil. Looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of all of Iomede's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful. The first issue on the military council's agenda is the reorganization of troops. Our infantry has been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty granted us were enough to take Dresden, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in great haste after the assault on Dresden and was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for redeployment. Our scouts report that a powerful Balor, Kramzada, is already preparing a retaliatory strike on Dresden. But we can always rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength, as always, lies in the number and fervor of the volunteers joining the Crusades. We can't throw everyone into the meat grinder. We'll just get our youth killed for nothing. We need to select the best among the recruits, or even better, hold a contest. The bravest and the most capable will join the Crusaders. The death count is always highest among the infantry. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It'd be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure the maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. So we have a choice. We can get champions, of course, which are the ones we got last time, and they're really good. We can get shield bearers, which don't do any damage. Like, they have good AC and they have tons of hit points, but they really just don't do anything. So, or we can get conscripts. Conscripts have more hit points than footmen. They have the same damage as our footmen. Same armor, higher flat-footed AC, same touch AC. They basically just get more hit points and a slightly more flat-footed armor class. I honestly think that the Crusaders are probably the best option. Like, they do so much more damage. I guess they don't have very much life, though. They actually have less life than footmen. You know what? Let's just fill our ranks with new recruits. We'll try the conscript route. We've never done it, so why not? In that case, I'll notify the quartermasters to make preparations to draft the conscripts. Captain Odan salutes you formally. Thank you for your time, Commander. When the reforms are finished and the ranks of our infantry are replenished, I will assemble the military council to discuss new decisions. Bye, Captain Odan. A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick business-like bow. Commander, the matters before us are urgent, so let's not stand on ceremony. I am Lady Konami, the official attaché of Nerosian. Here are my credentials. She presents a scroll adorned with Galfrey's seal. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters diplomatic council. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konami asked me to join this council, but I'll do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yeah, strange. I got invited to the council too. I'm sure foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. Lady Konami, you haven't mistaken me for some other crusader named Lan, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact, I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down the Erinde line. I must say that prior to this day, I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international reputation. It's time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows, I might even enjoy it. What's on the council's agenda today? I hate to say it, Commander, but not everyone in Nerosian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerosian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's high priest to Dresden for a religious festival? It would be appropriate, and the church's support will shield us from the accusations of schemers. Pander to the naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Eltimar. This is your victory. And if Cousin Galfrey wants to show off in front of her soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Lan's eyes flash with anger. Are they out of their mind? We've got a whole Dresden full of soldiers who need medicine, food, and weapons. Until everyone has been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. Alright, the High Priest one gives us the Religious Feast Decree. Energy points plus 10 or 20%, finance points minus 10%. My Honor gives us the Commander's Parade. Cost of recruiting mercenary units is reduced by 7.5, but our material income also is reduced by 25%. Helping those in need, Crusade morale increases by 10 to 20 if the Crusade morale is below 0. Or finally, the last one, the Royal Parade, finance points increased by 10% for 30 days. Honestly, none of those are particularly important, so we'll hold a parade in Her Majesty's honor, I guess. I'm glad you've listened to my proposal. Making friends with the Royal Council will go a long way. It's good that we've got off to the right foot, Commander. There'll be plenty more issues requiring your decision soon, but I do not doubt we will handle them just as expediently. Bye, Lady Konami. Captain Harmattan, hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Grundy stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Oread. Captain Harmattan, chair of your staff council by order of Her Majesty, Queen Gelfrey, here to deliver a report. I'm on this council too, Sela salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions, lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. Drawing upon my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it an incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these can be easily bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with the victory, and they're not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabris wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates. Raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for these folks, but we have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed and inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have nowhere to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example of them. This problem is quite simply solved with coin, but handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely. They'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. Alright, our choices are Glory to the Hero's Decree, Crusade morale increases by 5 to 10. Find the instigators and hunt down mutiny. Crusade morale increases by 16 to 25, but we get less recruitment, and the cost of mercenary units is also increased for, ever? I guess every 14 days. We can pay the officers, which costs us some money, but increases morale by 15 to 20. Or distribute provisions, which costs us materials and 10 to 15. You know what? I'm just going to do Captain Harmattan's one. Issue the privates a pay raise and improved rations. At once, I'll distribute the pay and rations right away. The accommodation list won't take long either. We should see results shortly. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. We should have just one more to go now. Dorglinda Stranglehold. Hail, Commander. The middle-aged dwarf, who has clearly seen some combat, salutes you with one barely moving bone-dry hand. On her face are huge, scarred claw marks. A black eye patch covers one eye, but she's watching you with the other, intent and somber. Dorglinda Stranglehold, a chair of the Logistics Council, at your service. We got ourselves an ugly situation that requires your attention. I hope I won't get in anyone's way if I join you. Arushale looks around with a visible worry. I think I could give some good advice here, if you don't mind, of course. Hopefully this council will benefit from my vast experience, surviving with gear that consists of rocks and sticks, and where any dinner that's not squirming on your plate is considered a feast. All in all, kinda like our crusade. I won't lie to you, our logistics are a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers, and fools are not the worst problem. There's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with a stylish plumage or a fancy blade from Nerosian. Meanwhile, that means that ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than kitchen knives, hammer, and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics staff the bum's rush. The question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? These scoundrels must be replaced with decent, honest, or honorable people, selfless souls who have proven that they put their comrades' lives above all else, especially their own wealth. Surely that's who will make the best, or take the best care of our soldiers. Let's get some veterans on the job, people who've had their fill on the front lines and who know firsthand what it's like for a common soldier, what the rations taste like, and how the boots are always in the wrong size. My suggestion is to call some experienced, well-connected supply officers from Nerosian. Let them leave their cushy jobs in Mendev. and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade. Alright, ready for anything feats gives us +2 to all saving throws for all of our units, which is not bad. Only the essentials gives all trainable units get +10% maximum HP, also kind of nice. Equipment for the estates is +1 to all attack and all saving throws for all units. That's way better. Let's get that one. Dorglinda, recruit those with connections in the capital as quartermasters. Will do. Soon we'll have quartermasters with a friend or two, even on the royal council. Then it's decided, no matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The results will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. And that's it. We're finally done. In the next video, I guess we'll go into the world. We did a whole bunch of ruling stuff. We made a whole bunch of decisions, and we're ready to start our adventure. Maybe, I guess, hopefully. Maybe we should rest before we go. We probably should level up people and rest, honestly. Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.